Hi everybody, welcome back to Bree's Books and Budgets. I am Bree. I am currently traveling, so I'm in a different space, so you'll see the space is different, the lighting is different, and we do what we gotta do. We'll make it work. I wanted to give you an update about my book bans challenge. I have broken the challenge. Don't worry, I did a spinner wheel to find out what my punishment. So my punishment is I actually need to read a total of 62 books in order to buy a book. So to get to my tier that I want to buy a book, that I can go ahead and buy a book, it's to read 62 books. The good thing is because the way that I did my spinner wheel, and one of the punishments was to clear my board, I actually don't have to clear my board. I just have to double the amount that I need in order to reach the tier where I can go ahead and buy a book. And so that would be 62 books. And I'm okay with that because it doesn't wipe out all the progress that I have made. It doesn't wipe out all the savings that I have saved since I started this book bans challenge. And I get to continue on. And yes, I did buy books. I bought 4 of them. I have 2 other ones that I have that were added to my collection, but they were actually from Amazon rewards points, so I didn't spend any money on them, not even have them shipped to me. So I'm not too worried about those. I'm worried about the 4 that I bought from Barnes & Noble. And I'll show you which ones I bought. The good thing is also, because I do not have my board with me, I don't know where I am as far as the numbers go. So while I'm traveling, I made a temporary board for myself so that I can go ahead and mark off the ones that satisfy any of my book bans categories. That way when I get back, I can update my official board and I'll update you on that. So for the month of September, I actually saved about $300 with not buying any of the books that I really wanted and I wasn't tempted, things like that. So I'm very proud of myself for that. And even with the books that I just bought, I only bought about $75 worth. They were not part of my budget, but they came out of a different area of my budget that I was able to kind of rearrange and pay cash for them. So I didn't have to put them on a credit card. I did not go into debt. I sacrificed something else in my budget to go ahead and pay for these. And I'm okay with that because things have been going on in my life involving my 9-to-5 job that I just decided I wanted to do a little bit of retail therapy, and I love books and I hadn't been to Barnes & Noble in a while, so I decided to treat myself and I'm okay with that. So you can have these book buying bans, but you need to also understand yourself and how you feel about different things. And so I'm not feeling guilty that I broke my book bans. And you shouldn't feel discouraged if you do a similar journey and you break your book buying ban. You shouldn't feel guilty. As long as you get back onto the horse and start again or continue the journey. And you have to think about what your reasoning for doing the book bans is. And my reasoning is I have a huge physical TBR all throughout my house, and I would like to get these books read and on my shelves or rehomed if I don't necessarily like them, and go to other people that I think would love them. And I'm not looking to necessarily save money. Saving money is a huge bonus, and yes, it is a motivating factor, but the bigger factor is that I would like to get my TBR read and down because I bought the books because I want to read them. So enough about that. Let's go ahead and talk about the books that I have acquired so far in the month of October, and I'm hoping that it's the last few that I will be purchasing in October anyway. So here's a little bit of a book haul. I have Soul Searching by Lila Sage. I actually got this off of Amazon and I use reward points for it. I've actually read it. Check out my next vlog. I will go ahead and talk about this. I enjoyed this book. This is the first book by Lila Sage, which has a little bit of a paranormal romance feel to it. I highly recommend this book. There is some spice to it, not a whole lot of spice, And I really resonated with the main female character of this. So go ahead and check out Soul Searching by Lila Sage. The next book that I got off of Amazon, again, it was part of a reward that I have from them, is Ghost Business by Jen DeLuca. I actually read the first one in the series, which is Haunted Ever After. It's right on the cover. Haunted Ever After by Jen DeLuca. And so this is the second in that series. It's kind of an interconnected series, and I'm very interested in reading this. I have not read the synopsis too much yet. I just know that it takes place in Boneyard Key, Florida, just like the last book, and I believe they are rival ghost tour companies and proprietors. That is all I know about that. I don't want to go too much further into what's on the back of the book because I like to go into my books somewhat blind about what's happening. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the books that I bought from Barnes & Noble. The first one is If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. And I have to tell you, the border collie that is on this is so cute. If I could, I would actually own a border collie, but I'm just not set up for that. I have to tell you, the only thing that I know about this book is that it is set in 1997, a small town in Vermont. I love the state of Vermont. I have family that lives there, so I get a chance to visit every once in a while. I really enjoy Vermont, and so anytime I can pick up a book that is set in Vermont, I love it. And the fact that it's fall in Vermont, even better. So I'm excited to read this. This is also part of a book club that I joined recently. This is the book that they have chosen for the month of October. Another reason why I bought it. The next book that I have from Barnes & Noble is Sarah Pierce's The Wilds. This is the third book in the Detective Ellen Warner series. I don't know if it's going to continue on. I haven't quite looked into that yet, but this book is set in a dark forest in Portugal. So it's Portugal's national forest where this one takes place. And as with the other two books that are part of this series, it seems to be set in a isolated area. Sometimes there's a storm, sometimes there's something preventing Ellen and the people that she's interacting with from being able to escape the area that they're in. And it's a perfect time to read it during the month of October, when I like to read things that are a little creepy, a little isolating, and maybe a little spine tingling. The next book that I have is First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. I have been hearing fabulous things about it, especially if you like the movie Sleepless in Seattle, which I do. This is set in Baltimore, Maryland, and it's about a radio host and somebody who calls in to his line, I think, for advice. I'm not quite sure the whole concept of that, but I really wanted to get this book. It's a cute book. Everybody has been raving about it, and so I can't wait to read this. And then the last book that I picked up from Barnes & Noble is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. This was making all the rounds, I believe, last year and possibly the year before. I have not read it yet. I decided to pick it up because it seems like a short, sweet little book. It's something quick and fast to read. There is a cat on the cover coming out of the cafe, if it'll focus. So that'll actually count towards my animals on the cover part of my book bands challenge. And so that is my update. That's my little book haul. That is my update about my book bands. And I promise you, when I get back into my space, I will tell you where I am on my book bands. But stay tuned for my reading vlog that is tied to a readathon that I'm doing. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.